G'day people, this episode we need to get stuck into the cruiser HZ47, 48, something like that. I don't know, they all lost me after they stopped calling them an FJ cruiser. So we need to get stuck into repairing this chassis like we sort of said before. It's a farm find. A friend of mine found it on a farm, very cheap, 2H diesel. 175,000 Ks on it, original. And I mean, look, see, we've still got that very retro cool sticker on it. But like I said, the cab is actually really good, like a bit of surface patina to it, but there's no actual rust holes in the cab anywhere. Chassis, unfortunately, is a little bit different. It's only the rear part. It's just a little bit sore in places, so and just a little bit thin and a few holes through things. So he's acquired a donor chassis for a rear section. Even that's not flush in some pieces. So what we're going to do is blow this one all apart and pick out the good bits. Probably blow the original chassis apart a bit and pick out the good bits of that one, and then just make one good chassis. There might be some holes that might need repairing and some non-structural bits. We'll just weld it up and make right. But that's pretty much what we're going to get stuck in today, is trying to get this blown apart enough to where I might be able to run some parts up to the sandblaster and get everything done. Problem with cars is, and working for other people with this sort of thing, is it's not like going to put a tap in at a house or a PowerPoint. It's where it's just a set time fee, that sort of thing, and people can see it. Cars is one of those things, they don't ever see the work going into it, and they always want their $10 of lollies for $2. And I was going to ask, do you want me just to do the bare minimum and just let's try and make it just okay to suit everyone's budget where they don't spend nothing? I thought, nah, bugger it, I'm not doing that anymore. It's this thing deserves to be done right, and I'm not going to be asking about money or budgets to him. I'm just going to do what I want to do, which would be blow it all apart and get all the bits sandblasted, prime it, paint it, and then we can put it back together again nicely. So the rear half of this chassis will be back to brand new or better. It might inspire him then to want to lift the cab off and we do the front half of the chassis. But at least we know it's done right and there's no comebacks anymore, and it'll be nice for the long run. So I'm not even joking when I say this, but I've got to get in there and glow this thing about 18 times before it even starts, because it is a bit cool. And we'll get it outside, pull some other stuff out of the shed, and we'll get started. Let's start moving.
Ride the beat when you rock the mic, put your foot on the gas and eat a red light. Ride the beat when you rock the mic, put your foot on the gas, make a left go right. Ride the beat when you rock the mic, put your foot on the gas and eat a red light. Ride the beat when you rock the mic, put your foot on the gas, make a left go right. Ride the beat. Let me show you some things. I can make it bang, I can make it bang, I can make it bang, I can make it bang. You should go here.
First little plan of attack is to try and work out how we want to do these repairs. Looking at the chassis now, we've got them pulled apart, like one's not sitting on top of the other. The new section, actually I didn't think it was too good, but the new section he's given me is actually quite nice. It doesn't show really, and it's just got such nice thickness. It's not pitted and worn out all the way through the chassis rails. So I think other little things, we'll flip him over in a minute, but I mean some of these rails here are just a bit chewed through over there too, and I think the spring hangers on this one are maybe worse than the ones are on the original chassis, because it is that thing, we're trying to make the best we can for the least involvement to a degree, because we do have to keep him a bit happy with a price. He's not going to want to spend $1 million budget on it, but B, we also got to make sure it's structural and it's strong and it's going to last. The rear C section on this one is all blown out down the bottom down there, all rusted out. I mean, that one up there is pulled down a bit, but it's not actually rusted, so that's one part we're going to have to swap over. This centre cross tube here isn't the same as what the factory one is there. The factory one up on the original one actually has this piece running all the way through, not in sections. So I think removing these bits, getting rid of all the other stuff, removing this, it's nearly going to be just popping that rail off the sides. Nearly, I think the whole thing just has to come apart, to be honest. Like, it'd be so much easier if we just blow this thing all into pieces, sandblast it all, repair those rust holes, because those corner sections back here are actually better nick than the ones up there. So I think first things first, I think we really need to just take this section of chassis and blow it all into pieces, everything into pieces, and just disregard what we're not going to use. And once we've got it all into pieces, we'll start scavenging the pieces off the original chassis we want to try and reuse. And then I think we just run them to the sandblaster fella and say, here, tidy all this up for me, and then we'll go from there. So let's make sparks fly. Well, I really need to go get my battery drill from work. I need to buy some new drill bits because these welded little pop rivet things are probably challenging me a little bit more than I was actually expecting. I thought grind the heads off them, punch them through, that should be okay. But no, they're rusted in, of course, so grind the heads off, we'll have to drill them through and go that way. So we shall jump in the car and run down to work and grab a battery drill, stop in at the hardware store and grab some new drill bits and some more grinding discs too, I reckon. So we'll keep moving. got the back end jacked up, got the muffler pulled out. I'm going to just pull the wheels off for now just so I can get better access into the chassis. See what we can remove, clean up, and get ready to start transplanting some bits across. I sent a picture off to the sandblaster and just asked him to give a bit of a rough idea on the price. I'm very surprised to hear an answer, to be honest. Seems like no one wants to actually take on any work these days, so hopefully we get an answer and I'll run the bits up to him. I just got to be mindful I can't go blowing the budget on it too much, because like I said, old mate doesn't even want to be paying for sandblasting, but if it's within a certain margin, I'll just go do it. It's just going to make everything such a nice job. At the end of the day, I'm paying for all this until I get paid, so got to be a little bit careful of what we do.